So if you're struggling to lose stubborn belly fat, I'm going to teach you how I did it to go from this physique to this physique, so that you can hopefully implement some of those tips and tricks and ideas and make your transformation as well. So the first thing I would recommend when dealing with stubborn belly fat is to get rid of the word stubborn. Let's just look at belly fat and we'll break that down. Like, how do we lose belly fat in general? Caloric deficit. So that's what we want to be on. We want to be on a caloric deficit, and when we start thinking of fat itself and removing it, let's just simplify it. My process to lose that stubborn fat was first to go on a deficit of around 200 to 300 calories. But not only that, I made sure my macro split was very high in protein, and I made sure that with a lot of the meals that I was eating, I was adding lots of volume of vegetables like lettuce, peas, kidney beans, and all these sort of fruits and legumes and all that, whatever you want to call it, because they're so low in calories, but you can add a massive volume of them so you can fill up a lot more. So I was having like pasta, but I'd have 150 grams of peas in there. Because I was never used to cutting before, especially if you're cutting for the first time, you're going to get hungry. So use that tactic of filling it up with vegetables and fruits. And the next thing is I had a meal plan, and I've said this in almost every single video, and I will continue to say it. If you have a meal plan, it will make your life so much easier, because the meal plan I had was already tailored to hit the calories I had to lose that body fat. All I had to do was eat the same things every day, and it was almost like clockwork. After a week or two, you can almost do it blindfolded. Like, it takes such little energy out of your day just to eat the same things every day, and then if you get bored, just switch it up. It just makes life a lot easier for me. So I would recommend 100% get a meal plan, and if you can do what I did, I had a training day meal plan and a rest day meal plan, just so you have some alterations, right? Also, with losing stubborn belly fat, this is something that obviously made it easier for me, was because I had a bit more lean muscle. So I already had a decent frame before I got fat and out of shape, so it was easier for me to get back in shape. So another recommendation, something I did, was I was hitting the gym 4 times heavy every single week, intense resistance training workouts. And I think it's important that you include that, because when you have more lean muscle, your body becomes more metabolically active, so that means lean tissue is burning more calories even at rest. So if you have someone with the same weight, but for example, one person's got more lean muscle than another person, then person A is going to be burning more calories at rest than person B. And another tip for me is, because I had time in my hands and I started cutting down dumb habits like drinking alcohol, I cut down a lot, I stopped smoking. I started running, so I just started doing like 3Ks, 5Ks, 10Ks every now and then. But eventually I got a bit bored of that. So what I would recommend is maybe just picking up a new hobby or a habit. Go play five-a-side, go play squash or badminton 1 or 2 times a week as well. Because you're doing cardio, intense cardio, you're almost doing like HIIT training, high intensity interval training. But when you're doing it with like a sport, you're not in that monotonous, like, just running straight ahead down a road thing, which was boring for me. So pick up an activity, and especially if you can do it with your boys as well, trust me, it'll be a lot more enjoyable. Another massive change for me to help me lose stubborn belly fat was actually to start creating a habit tracker. The stubborn belly fat, you got to understand, is for most of the guys, it will be the last place that fat goes from. So if you want to get rid of the last layer of fat, it means you're going to have to be the most disciplined. So you have to keep things on track for a long enough period of time. The only way I've ever managed to do anything for a long period of time is by doing a habit tracker at first. So what I had was very simple. I would have a habit tracker that had on the top, have I slept on time? Have I woken up on time? Have I trained? Have I eaten well? And did I do my like uni work and whatever project I was working on at that point? And I would literally try to build up massive streaks of this, like tick, 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 13, 14, 15, 30, 40 days. If you get a habit tracker, you set up a meal plan, and you go for 30 days. 30 days with ticking every single tick, I can 99% guarantee you that you're going to make some good progress with losing that stubborn belly fat. Now, I was in an arrogant position, and you probably think to yourself, no, I'm doing everything that I possibly can. But I promise you, once you have it in front of you and you're tracking it, you'll realise that you're most likely coming up a bit short. And I'm actually realising that now. As much as I've been saying I'm working so hard on my YouTube business and whatever, I've started doing a really like heavily detailed tracker where I'm tracking every single minute of work that I'm doing, and I'm realising some days I'm only putting in an hour. Some days I'm not even working on my specifically YouTube business at all. I can see my sleep some days. I tell myself I'm a proper good sleeper, but some days I'm sleeping at 9:30, some days I'm sleeping at 10:15 and 10:30. Some days I'm even sleeping at 11 o'clock, which is not good for me. It keeps me honest with myself. When you've got a habit tracker, you can't really lie because the data is there. Another massive thing that helped me lose that stubborn belly fat was actually becoming more productive. I started taking the other areas of my life a lot more seriously. Looking back at it now, I think it helped me in this reason, because if you see like a high performer, he's not just a high performer in one area. Like if you see all the high athletes or really top level business people that we look up to, they're also quite intelligent, they're also quite clued on, they're also quite smart. So if you try to dial in the areas of your uni work or start picking up projects, start becoming more, charismatic and develop your character, you'll realize when you look in the mirror and you see a fat person look back, you're like, nah, these two just don't fit together. So when I started dialing in my life from the other side, I found out that mentally, even there was just some shifts in my identity that were taking place, which made me getting leaner a bit easier. It's hard to explain. You're gonna have to do it and just see it. Don't look at your body just like, just a body that's like a sack of meat. You need to look at everything holistically, because you've got all the different areas that are working in tangent with each other. So if you start fixing other areas, it's only inevitable that you're gonna lose that fat and get in shape as well. That's what I would recommend. That's what I did, and I just did it for an extended period of time. You got to imagine that I did this from September 2020 till July 2021, and I was on job. I was pretty consistent, and I was so consistent even when the gyms shut down. I was training outside in the snow, and I think this is where I really developed discipline for the first time in my life. But you need it, bro. You need some sort of discipline, and if you learn it from this journey, then hats off to you, bro, because I promise you, if you learn it and you keep it, it will translate into so many different areas of your life. And the feeling of having a lean physique and having an aesthetic body, it goes just beyond the way you look, because the amount of effort and discipline and nutritional knowledge and constant development that you need to do to keep it there, time management skills, everything, accountability, it's a proper worthwhile investment into yourself, bro. But as always, you know the message, bro. Keep building, keep progressing. I'll catch you in the next one.